everybody, welcome inside the manager's office on Yankees On Demand, presented by AT&T. It's Justin Shackle hanging out with Yankees skipper Joe Girardi, and we're over a quarter of the way through the season now. There have been a few more speed bumps in the month of May for the Yankees than there were in April, but overall, I think the biggest thing you could take away is that this team comes out and performs night in and night out. What do you think makes it so tough to beat the Yankees on any given game?
Well, I think there's talent. I think there's a lot of power in our lineup, and there's a lot of patience in our lineup as well. And our bullpen has done a really, really good job. At times our starters have been really good. But I think the one thing that has been special about this team is we're never out of a game. And our club always feels that they can come back.
What's it been like watching Michael Pineda put it all together?
Well, it's been fun because we've always felt that Michael's had a ton of potential. And I think, the consistency of his slider has been a big thing for him. And just the location of his fastball, and the cut has been back a lot this year on his fastball, and that's been big.
Jordan Montgomery, he shows a lot of maturity with how he pitches. How has he been different from some of the other rookie pitchers that you've managed?
Well, I think his maturity is and his poise are really important for him, and he doesn't seem to get too rattled. And he's had his little hiccups. I mean, we see him when he walks a couple guys in a row, and he kind of loses the strike zone. But Jordan has 4 pitches, and that's unusual for a kid that age, and can throw them all for strikes. We think he's the full package, and he's just going to get better and better. What's
the biggest challenge for you in a bullpen that does not include Aroldis Chapman?
Well, I think it's, the way you use Adam Warren. That's the biggest challenge. It shortens your bullpen. And, Adam was kind of the guy that was the jack of all trades that could fill in for the 7th inning guy, or fill in for the 8th inning guy, or the closer that night, or give you 2 innings. And now you have to use him a little bit different, knowing that, he kind of is your 7th inning guy. So it's been a little bit different. It probably has affected him the most. And Aroldis hopefully will start throwing here, and we'll get him back soon.
All right, let's talk about some of these power hitters in your lineup. Let's start with Brett Gardner. More home runs this year than all of last. And I think a lot of people are saying, maybe this is just a recent power surge. But maybe if you dig deeper, you see some trends with the way Brett has been swinging. It could be more than that. Do you agree?
Oh, I agree. And I think, partly maybe the rotation of the 4 outfielders has helped these guys as well, where they're getting a day off here and there, and they're not playing 14 days in a row. They're not playing, 17 out of 18 days, and physically they have their legs underneath them. So, there's a year I think he hit 15 or 16 home runs too. So, the power is there, but I think he's healthy, I think he's strong, and he has the ability to do it.
When you look at Aaron Judge and his improving plate discipline, what stands out the most?
Well, I think it's how disciplined he's been in the amount of walks. Yeah, he's going to have his strikeouts, but he's also going to have a lot of home runs, and he's going to have a lot of walks. And he's not a guy that just clogs the bases either. So it's a good guy to have on the bases, because he'll score from first on a double, or he'll steal a base and do some things. So he has really improved.
I talked to Didi Gregorius a couple weeks ago. I asked him, take me through the progression for you as a hitter since you've come to New York. And he mentioned a couple of small details that add up to a consistent approach. What details do you see when you watch Didi's evolution as a hitter?
Well, I think it's how long his bat stays in the zone, number one. And to me, it's more, he's just playing every day. He's getting a chance to play every day, and he knows that he's our guy. And I think he's grown up. And sometimes players just need consistent at-bats to make progress.
Home runs. When you guys hit them, you're winning more games than you're losing. Yeah. Is this an offense that lives and dies by the homer? And if so, is that okay?
I think it's a league that lives and dies by the home run. I think you could probably say that about any team in baseball. But we've done our things at some small ball, and we've stolen bases as well. But this is a home run league.
Got a handful of young guys that have made contributions, but you also have a lot of young talent knocking on the door over in AAA. We saw Gleyber Torres, the most recent addition over to Scranton. How soon could we expect some of this talent that we've been hearing about and we saw in spring training?
Well, it's hard to say. Sometimes when you see players, it's dependent on an injury. If a guy's going to be out for a long time, you might call up someone that, that you think would be an everyday player. But we know that they still have to make progress, and they still have to make some adjustments. But you're seeing a lot of guys making adjustments. And it's just not offensive players. We're seeing it with pitchers, too. So pitchers that are doing a really good job. So it's exciting.
When you're going through a stretch like you are right now, 20 games in 21 days, what are the biggest pieces of preparation that you have to make ahead of that stretch?
Well, I think you try to plan out off days for your guys. And, as far as, using your bullpen, you can't predict that because you don't know what you're going to need from night in and night out. So I think you try to predict the off days for the position players.
What do you learn about a team when it's going through a large chunk of the schedule with minimal time off?
Well, you see how durable and how many days in a row guys can play and be productive. I mean, that's the big thing is we want them to be productive, and those are the things you have to measure.
Joe, thanks a lot for letting us inside the manager's office.
Have a great day.